Welcome to the show, everybody. This is episode number 221 of the Iron Coop Fights movies. This episode is available on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, and hosted by SoundCloud. I'm Keo, your host. With me on the show today are my co-hosts Emerson
Hey, what's going on?
and Everett.
Hey, what's up?
This week, the team reviews Saving Mr. Banks. I'm going to explain our rating system. On this show, we give the titles that we have watched a rating of win, draw, or loss. A win is a title that we would highly recommend, while a draw is a title we didn't love or recognize others may appreciate. A loss means we do not recommend the title. On to our review of the week. Spurred on by a promise he made to his daughters, Walt Disney, played by Tom Hanks, embarks on what would become a 20-year quest to obtain the movie rights to Mary Poppins. The author, P.L. Travers, played by Emma Thompson, proves to be an uncompromising curmudgeon who has no intention of letting her beloved characters become mangled in the Hollywood machine. However, when the book stops selling and she finds herself in need of money, Travers reluctantly agrees to consider Disney's proposition. All right, Emerson, you want to review first?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna give it a draw. To me, this movie felt very long. Like I was an hour in and I was like, okay, we're getting near the end now, right? Like it's been a long time. Like just the scenes felt like they were slogging onto me. Now, full disclosure, this might be because I didn't care all that much about like what this was. Like I don't really have any strong opinions towards Mary Poppins, and like I don't know. I was kind of jumping into this. I was expecting it to be a lot more about Disney rather than Mary Poppins and like Trevor's like life and her like backstory behind the character. So I was sort of like taken aback by that. I thought the acting was fine, and the like writing, I guess, was okay. But to me, just with how much it was slogging, by the end, I was like, oh God, just like let it be done. It picks up at a few points and then it slows back down to me. So I can see how someone who's like really interested in Mary Poppins or they're like big Disney lore fans could be like, oh, this is awesome. But for me, it was just like, this was kind of a chore. So that's why it has to be a draw.
Everett?
I'm gonna give it a win, and I should probably start by saying I do have a little bit of a bias, is that I love Mary Poppins, and that was like one of the things that I grew up watching when I was a kid. Those are like core memories in my head, just singing along to those songs on the TV. So I have a little bit of a stake in this. I thought it was a really well done film. I thought the acting was okay. I thought the music was good. The ending definitely gave me that old school Disney feeling, like the same you get when you watch Toy Story or Monsters Inc. or any number of those old Pixar movies. Like it's that feeling in your chest, like good happiness. It was a good ride. I thought the comedy was also nice at some points. I couldn't help but compare it to what we saw in Shang-Chi, just because they're, at least in my opinion, it's two different spectrums of comedy. Whereas they were doing long, kind of dead jokes that weren't funny, this one had little bits of like fast and funny humor. They were subtle too. A lot of the jokes that I liked didn't even require dialogue, and I'll bring up those in spoilers.
Fast and funny sounds like Shang-Chi's humor.
But they, like, you see what I mean though, right? Like they didn't succeed where they tried to do it. This movie did. But anyway,
All right. I mean, I don't think that they were trying to do this type of humor. I think they were trying to do what they did, which is just, I just don't think it's funny.
but also my last comment about this before I let you go is if there's one line in this movie where Disney's like telling her like I really care about this, and he's like giving her the whole speech like I'm not just gonna add it to my book uh of like all these different properties I've collected. I'm gonna actually care about it. And if that is like the farthest you can get about what Disney's actually doing today, which is kind of sad. But anyway, that's
Right.
a win for me.
I give it a win also. I think it's a well done movie, but I think that you have to have the whole like Mary Poppins childhood nostalgia to truly appreciate it. I think that the story that they tell you is not all that compelling, to be honest. Um, like about the author's life, and I love when people when it's like the story of how people like came together to make something. And as far as this movie goes in that genre, I didn't think that it was like the best of it. Like Ford versus Ferrari, is that type of movie, or like even The Room, or no, what was it, The Disaster Artist, where it's like this is how they made the movie, stuff like that, or even First Man, like how they got to the moon, that sort of like type of movie. where they go back and they show you how it came together. I don't think this ranks very high on that. I think it gets by a lot on the Mary Poppins nostalgia. So my review is a win, but I think you need to be a fan of the source material. Going into spoilers, I rewatched Mary Poppins as I was working, and I also watched Mary Poppins Returns. And I got to
Is that
say,
the one with Emily Blunt?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think that the first Mary Poppins has some good songs, but overall, it's the author had some pretty good points. Like, I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. I think it rides a lot on nostalgia. And I
Mhm.
grew up with it too in the house and Mary Poppins, and like I only remembered a few things about it. Um, I remembered like Dick Van Dyke's character and his song, the Chim Chim Cheree guy. And then I remembered the animated penguins. That was by far the worst part of the movie. And like when the author is saying like no animation, I was like, yeah, that animation sequence took like an hour of the movie, and it was basically just nonsense the entire time. And then the whole point is that the kids afterwards go, "We did all this crazy things," and Mary Poppins is like, "I don't know that we did all that. Are you sure?" And then they're saying it to their dad, and I was like, "What is this crazy?" Like, it didn't really contribute to the story. It did not have to be an hour. So then there's like, I don't know. The sequel is like the fact that the children are grown up and Mary Poppins hasn't aged, and they're like, "Whoa, you haven't aged," and she's like, "Oh, thank you. That's a nice compliment." And it's like, no, you literally haven't aged. Like, I would be stabbing you to see if you bleed because that's not humanly possible. Like, you're an alien or something. Like, I'm expecting green blood or something. It doesn't make sense.
Mary Poppins is a scroll.
But the movie just moves on from that, and like she's okay. Um, what did you guys think about like how they compare the book version? The author is like, she wasn't like this, and she wasn't like that, and then they Disneyfied everything.
So I haven't read Mary Poppins.
Neither have I.
I haven't read it either, but she says it in the movie, like
Yeah,
how
but
it
like
should have been.
yeah, but like the way she talks about it in a lot of ways, it's almost like at least the vibe I got was that people read the book and were like, "Oh my god, it's so magical and fun," and she's like, "That's not what I intended at all." Like it
It'd be
was
like if
supposed to
J.K.
be
Rowling was like,
I
Harry
don't
Potter is a serious guy.
I
Like,
don't think it was very magical and fun.
okay, but like that's the vibe I was getting from the way people were talking about it.
Well, that's what I don't understand, because you have to really love this shit to be like, "Oh, it's so nice," because Walt Disney says he loves Mary Poppins, but then he wants to make her like the opposite of what she was. So when he's reading that, is he like imagining her as the different character? Why would he say he loves that character?
That's why I said I didn't understand like the comparisons that were being brought up, because she kept saying it's not magical and fun, and everyone around her was like, "But it is magical and fun." And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I mean,
Like,
it is realistic. It's like if I said I love Batman because I read the comics, and then I made Batman and Robin. And you're like, where did you get that from? Because that doesn't make any sense. But somebody did do that.
I kind of took it as the whole movie, they're comparing the different viewpoints of it. Everybody's coming to her with their viewpoints of the book, how they saw it when they read it, when they're putting themselves into it. You know, like
Were
you
they
had a fun
though?
time.
I
But
feel
then
like
like on
she's I feel
well
like
then
she's the
like
only one that thought that the book was that way, and everyone else was trying to make the movie.
yeah, because even the driver was like, "I loved it, like it's enchanted me, like yada yada." Like,
that was the point I was trying to get to, is that other people had a magical experience, so that's how they like voice it to her. But to her, everything in that book is almost real. It's like based on her entire life. So maybe she's incapable of seeing it that way, which is why she takes it to a more serious tone. Like the author is incapable of viewing it the same way that the people who haven't like seen it before have seen it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but see, this is the fault with the movie, because the real life Mary Poppins, her aunt or whatever, who shows up and sort of kicks their ass. I'm not seeing the correlation between that and like what happens in the movie.
neither am I.
So her dad dies, and the aunt basically is like, "Yeah, this is life. Like, deal with it." Where's the like, I'm gonna save? Like, Mary Poppins is there to save the
Yeah,
dad.
there isn't at all. And also, by the way, when she says that like Mary Poppins, the point of Mary Poppins is like the world, she even has that like monologue where she talks about how the point of Mary Poppins is that the world is a dark, horrible place, and Mary Poppins is going to show them that so they're prepared for it. Or so, she says something like
Right, exactly. It doesn't jive at all with the idea that people would read that and interpret her as like a magical, fun character.
Exactly. And then it also doesn't jive at all with whatever the fuck the movie became, because, you know, in the movies, it's like she literally fixes everything. She's like putting a childlike sense of wonder into them. And like, it's the complete opposite
Right.
of like, the world
Right.
is horrible and you got to be ready. Like,
So that's what
Honestly,
I go ahead, Everett.
Well, I was gonna say I really do kind of want to read the book now to see the differences, because there's
Well-
no like there's got to be something different.
I fully do not want to read the book.
Well, what I was watching, and I'm like, I think that it's going to be about how she thinks the character is one way, and then she begins to see how it could be seen as something else, and she starts to accept that. But the movie doesn't quite hit that note. She eventually accepts their version of it, like she compromises, which is weird because the whole movie, it's like her not compromising, finally getting on board with it. Then she like sees the animated penguins and completely backs out. And then she allows them to make the movie anyway. And then she comes back and she's like, it was all right. And I'm like, that's not really an arc. I don't understand what happened here. She cries because, okay, she sort of knows where it all came from. And I guess you as the audience now knows where it all came from too. But I still couldn't reconcile, like, she already did that. She already made a book that was very popular about that. So then how is the movie different for her other than a corruption of what she made? So
Yeah,
that
and
part I didn't get.
Yeah, and then like I don't know if this is true, but she's like she's writing the sequel before she goes to see the movie. Like that seems to me to be out of character too, because if it's based off like the experiences that she holds so dear, now she's gonna like do a sequel about it.
She did a couple sequels, I think.
That's weird. I don't know.
Well, it was more like they need her help again and she comes back, something like that. I kind of looked it up. Problem is, so I thought that watching the original would give me some insight. So, like, she doesn't like Dick Van Dyke.
Mm-hmm.
Jade says that Dick Van Dyke is like famous for having like, the worst Cockney accent. I thought he was meant to be like kind of stupid, and that's why his accent was like that, and that it was sort of representing like the lower class person. Like I thought that's why he had like a weird way of talking, but I guess it's just a really bad accent. But the movie doesn't really like that doesn't come back, and that's the kind of stuff that I was into is like the cast. I was thinking, when are they going to get to the part where they cast Julie Andrews? Because Julie Andrews is a huge part of Mary Poppins. It's not in it.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't she have something to say about who is playing Mary Poppins based on what she thinks Mary Poppins is?
And you know, you're getting to something I was gonna bring up too, Kia, where I think they skipped some of the most interesting parts. I was thinking it was going to be like she's watching them film it. She's giving like points to the actors and actresses. Like she's like, but instead we literally just sit with her, Disney, and the music and like sound guys.
It's really just the music so that they could play the music in the movie and you could be like, oh, I love that song.
Yeah, but like how interesting would it have been if she was on set, like watching the camera, interacting with these people?
I
That
mean,
would have
I
been...
guess I think I can understand at that point in time why like you don't really get into like the Walt Disney machine. Like he's making his movie. You're not really going to be there giving pointers to the actors. Like I could see why she wouldn't be doing that. But she did rewrite the script, and I was thinking like watching the movie because I didn't really remember it that much. But watching the movie again and going like, why did they do this? Like where did this come from? And where did that come from? And like the movie just doesn't address any of that. So overall, like I think it was a good movie. Like when she's watching it in the theater, I think I felt whatever they were trying to get me to feel. But when it was all over, I wasn't sure that I understood what had happened, basically. Like
That's fair.
where did this movie really get born out of? Why does Walt Disney want to make a movie about a book that he read where the character is completely at odds with what he ended up making? And then he deals with this woman just to get the rights. Why don't you just make your own nanny story? Don't call it Mary Poppins and make her like the opposite. You couldn't even say that it's the same when the characters are like polar opposites. She's this mean, like straight-laced British woman. And then in the movie, she's like fun and I don't know. Then the sequel is actually more like that. Like Mary Poppins is a little more like straight laced, except that she goes on like wild excursions because they're pandering to like the people that watched it from their childhood, the original. So then they go like on this, like I think all the stuffed animals in their bassinet come to life, and they go to like a music hall where there's the stuffed animals and they're animated now, and they're like singing music, and like yeah, there's some good songs, and then they like I don't remember exactly what happens, but they go to like the bank of the son where he's working where the dad worked, except he's like a teller. He has like it's stupid.
Mm.
And I actually don't even remember if I finished the movie. I think I might have turned it off at some point because they also spend like an hour in the animated world. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then so they go back and the kids make some kind of ruckus and the guy almost gets in trouble and almost fired, just like in the other movie. And he's like scolding Mary Poppins. I mean, it's insane that he's like, what is the meaning of this? As if he's Mr. Banks and not talking to his nanny who was an adult when he was like 5 years old or 6 years old. And then he scolds them and he's like, take them home at once. And she's like, yes, sir. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what this character is. Like, she's kind of all over the place. And also
He's the servant.
This is bizarre. But she does show up and she's like kind of like tough and a little more like what I thought the book would have been. Except they cross back into the movie territory. So I don't have a whole lot to say. Like, I'm not a huge Mary Poppins fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I grew up watching it, and it's like, I hate when people, like, no offense ever, I hate when people are like, I grew up watching this, so this was like amazing. And I'm like, yeah, but have you watched it recently? Because it's a bit of a mess.
Kia's firing all guns.
No, I agree with you to some extent. I'm actually scared to kind of go back and watch it if I'm going to do it at all, because I want to keep those good memories and not have them ruined.
I remember it being on the TV all the time as a kid, like not as much as Batman was, but like it was Mary Poppins for many years of my young childhood, and I just I don't know why. It was it just the songs? Was that it? A spoonful of sugar? Is that it?
So like, yeah, I guess to like my little kid brain, like singing along to that stuff was like family friendly.
I almost feel like
that.
it was I feel like my sisters made it a bigger deal than it was. Like they were the ones who like kind of pushed us into it.
They may have read the book and then the nostalgia was getting them.
I don't know. I don't know. I do love that episode of The Simpsons, Sherry Bobbins.
Love that.
Yeah. That's a good episode. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I mean, I thought Tom Hanks was great.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, even though I gave it a draw, I don't think like it was particularly the acting. And I think that kind of gets into what you're saying, Kia, where it's like, you think it was a good movie, but the problem is like the subject matter, like you either like it or you don't for the most part, right? So
like I think Jade thought it was an amazing movie because she loves Mary Poppins.
yeah.
And it's like, and I was getting bored. She's like, why don't you like it? It's so good. It's a slow movie. I'm like, I like slow movies, but like they're not doing much. Like
a slow movie that like has pulled me in.
Right. The plot wasn't, like I said, the arc wasn't there for her. I'm expecting her to go from like, I hate the idea of Hollywoodizing it, but then I'm going to see the magic in it. And then I'm going to embrace it and understand that like there could be two versions, one for me and one for everybody else that works for kids and whatever. And it's like, no, the movie ends with her basically saying like, F you, like you betrayed me. And then they just make the movie anyway. And then she just goes and watches it and she's like, it wasn't so bad. But then I think later on she criticized it a little more, like this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And so I don't know what to make of that. But
yeah.
You guys ready to move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yes.
Okay. So let's go to. Oh, do you have a fight of the week?
I did actually. I was going to see if you remember. So
Okay.
Kia, you know, Mary Poppins, a lot of her thing was like she had a vision for a story, right? And then as that vision like moved into a different type of medium, she was like, this isn't what I was intending. Kia, you need to build or you get contracted to advise on a live action $170 million budget pre-advertising Coyote Crew movie. And how do you keep
like
your
they come to me like, we love the Coyote Crew movies.
Yes.
And it's Disney.
Yes, it's Disney, and
Disney's like, we
they
want to make it a musical.
yes, and you need to try to keep it as much as possible true to the source material, but it's Disney.
Wow.
See, the thing is, I think you'd have to make it like a Deadpool movie, and they'd have to be okay with that because I guess they are on some level. But if they wanted to add musicals, I would welcome that because the point of the Coyote Crew movie was to make fun of like all the trends in the movie industry. It was basically a Fast and Furious ripoff where every movie, like we did every type of genre that was like, and we did every trope in it. Like that was the joke. People coming back to life, time traveling, like I don't know, betrayal, like
Gods,
yeah,
mystery, like the resurrection.
It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And like that was intentional. Like it was always part of the joke that it's like this time they're traveling back into like makes no sense. So if they wanted to like force it down the musical, that's almost playing into the joke of like, yeah, now they're doing fucking musicals.
They
like,
have you in the room. They have you in the room. They're like, shit, we have to ask them about the musical. They're like really concerned. They're like, we want to make it a musical. And you're like, okay, let's do it.
Off the top of your head, like what would one song from that movie be? Just one title.
So would it be like the first one?
Yeah,
Sure.
like the first one.
Like Buttons missing his friends and wanting to bring the crew back together, something like that.
It would be all the songs would be spoofs of other famous Disney songs, but just turned into Coyote Crew. So it would be like instead of you'd be singing like "I'll Make a Man Out of You" to like Cheech.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking like Mulan, like who is that? Like Reflection, who's that girl I see? That's Buttons when he's like out of jail and he's like, who am I now? You know, and then like I don't know, some other song when the crew's together and they're talking about how much they love being a biker gang, and then the villain has to have a song about how evil they are and like, yeah, we kill people and we steal cars and
Grapes gets a solo there.
He gets like that Scar moment from the Lion King.
yeah, exactly. So like that would be, I'd let him do it. And the problem is, it's like, well, what would you do for the others? Because the other ones are so genre specific. And I'm like, there's not going to be a second one. Once that goes out, like either you love the Coyote Crew on YouTube and you're totally in on the joke and the fact that I let them do that, and then as they're going for the marketing, I'm like, yeah, I thought the musical was like one of the stupidest ideas, and for that reason I thought it would be hilarious, and that's why I let them do it. Like it just kills the marketing. They fire me completely. It would never happen. You'd never get a sequel.
That's so fucking funny.
Birdman scored by Danny Elfman. That's your dream right there.
Yeah, they would get someone like that. They would get it. And like they'd be like, we were thinking of Lin-Manuel Miranda coming in and like doing some rapping because that's his thing now. Like, are you okay with like some hip hop instead of the classical? And I'm like, you know what? I would like specifically Lin-Manuel Miranda to do exactly the same tropey shit that he's been doing in this Mary Poppins movie and in Hamilton and whatever the hell else he's doing. Yes, let's make it as generic as possible. As soon as he shows up on the screen, I want the audience to laugh. That's what I want. Before he even sings a syllable, I want them to know it's coming.
Oh god.
All right, let's go to Roundup. I watched the Mary Poppins stuff. That was not good. I started reading The Prisoner of Azkaban, and that is pretty good.
Awesome.
Like I know people always say that that's their favorite one, and so far, like it's been pretty good. I think.
I'm excited to watch that movie.
Yeah, I'm only like 20% through. So, anything else?
Yeah, I've started watching Sopranos.
Oh yeah, what episode are you on?
I just finished 3 before we did the podcast. Well, before I jumped on with
the first
Everette.
episode is a pilot, and although it's well written, it's a little different.
Like, well, I noticed in the second and third episode it changes.
Like Silvio is his friend in the pilot, but he's the consigliere moving forward. He's like number 2.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I might have to go back and start watching it again.
No, but it's really fucking funny.
It is
already.
so good. I'm actually going to start rewatching it now. I think it's just going to be a thing that I'm just constantly watching.
When he goes, he gets the like helper for his mom, and like he walks into the house and he like whispers, he's like, look, when you're taking care of my mom, lay off the ganja, okay? And she's like,
his
"What?"
mom. I forgot about
It's
that.
so funny. You're not gonna believe how funny this show is.
No, it's already fucking hilarious, dude. I love it. And then fucking what's the kid's name? Christian or Christopher. When Christopher's friend robs
I
the
mean, AJ.
is that his name?
Oh,
He-
Christopher. Michael Imperioli, the
Yeah.
nephew.
Yeah, the nephew.
okay.
When Christopher the nephew, his friend robs the truck after Christopher's like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm staying with
Yeah.
Tony. And he's
Yeah.
got those two like random ass dudes, and neither of them could drive the truck, and they shoot and kill the fucking driver.
It's the funny, and you're gonna hear some lines that I've been saying probably for years, and you're gonna get the references. You're like, oh shit, that's where it came from.
It's fucking funny. I
Like-
enjoy it.
Like there's one in the first season where like they throw somebody off a bridge. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
I don't think so.
They throw someone off a bridge and some black guys are sitting there and they walk over and they pay them. They're like, you didn't see anything. And the black guy's like, it was some sad shit. Motherfucker said he didn't want to live no more. It's so funny. The show is so good.
Yeah, it's great. I
Now
love
the
it.
thing is like because I don't, you probably never watched it for real, but my mom is just like his mom, like 100%. And it's crazy because people like there's one where I think Steve Van Zandt, who plays Silvio, went up to David Chase and was like, he's like, there's no one's mother like this, and David Chase is like, that's my mother. And for me, I never had a problem being like, oh, it's a show, like she's great. Me, I was like 100%. I know this person. This mother is real. I knew it from the moment I saw the show. And I think that was see, people watch it for the mafia. They think it's just a mob show.
No, it's funny as hell, dude.
It's deep. You're gonna see, like, not only is it funny, not only does it have the mob and that stuff, but it is so funny. Have you gotten to the episode where they deal with the Jews?
No, they've met a single Jewish guy, and they like kind of hatched the insurance scheme. Like they're gonna shake down insurance instead of garbage.
Oh no, there's like two Hasidic Jews.
Oh, they haven't met
And
them yet.
he wants the guy to sell. It's his son-in-law. He wants him to sell his share of the hotel or something like that. And they go, and the guy won't sell. So they keep beating him up, but he just won't sell because he like believes in God or something. And they're like, they call Tony like, we don't know what to do. He won't stop. This guy will just keep taking it. But
It's so funny.
The soccer game one, I think, was one of my favorites when I was watching it.
oh, the soccer episode. The coach is like molesting one of the girls, and they find out, and it's like one of the funniest. Like the way that they do it is like, I forgot what was the funniest part ever. I told you about it.
It was there. She like comes out and tells them, and like Tony knew, I think, beforehand, like he figured it out, and he's like, yeah, it's the soccer coach was like sleeping with her. I'm butchering the lines, but it was he's like, yeah, and he's fucking that neighbor girl too, or something like that.
No,
Remember
no,
Remember
that was Silvio.
So I'm
where,
saying that.
Like
I haven't
think-
seen it in a while. That's just remember what
I think okay. So they found out that he was molesting. Then Artie Bucco is his friend who owns the restaurant, whose daughter's also
We've
on the
met
team.
him. We've met him.
He comes. He's so good, by the way. I wish he had more material. He comes in and they're talking about like killing the coach or something, and he's like, whoa, like the coach is leaving, but we're not gonna. He doesn't know. He thinks that the guy's like taking another job. He's like, the guy's leaving, but we're not gonna. Like, what did he like? I don't know, something like that. And he's like, he only did this and that. And Sylvia's like, you know what else he did? He fucked little Allie. And Artie's like, oh my god, the show is so funny.
I'm probably gonna start from the beginning too. Then.
Oh,
Because
shut up! I told you, and you watched like 7 episodes, and then
that.
you just
No,
stopped
I watched
ago.
well into like season 2.
Oh, give me a break.
No,
a break.
that's true. I got to the part where the big bosses come from Italy. That's the part where I got to.
You know, Everett, I'm not gonna flex on you, but I'm just gonna finish it now. You know, because I've started watching.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll rewatch it too. I don't care.
It is the greatest show ever made, and that is not like I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true because I'm
No, it's awesome. I really enjoy it. And the funny thing too is when I was watching it, my mom was about to go to her horse, and she kept like delaying to keep watching it again too.
it pulls you in. Like
Yeah.
I'll be like working, I'll have it on, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm just playing it in my headphones as I like get ready for bed, and I'll sit in bed and I'll end up watching like another 40 minutes because you
Yeah.
just can't.
It's one of these
stop.
things where like you can't use it as like a busy work thing because you're gonna focus on that instead of the busy work.
It's too good, is the problem. And then yeah, I mean, I envy you. You don't know what the ending is, do you?
Well, I mean, I watched the ending episode when it came out, but I was young, so like it didn't. I
Well,
remember
would
like
watch it. So here's a weird thing. It's coming out on October 1st, the movie,
Yeah.
and they moved up Venom. Venom got pushed to October 15th. They moved it back because Shang-Chi is doing so well.
Mm.
So they moved it to October 1st as well. So we might have to like figure that one out.
Okay, well, I mean, either way, I'm just gonna go through and watch. I don't have as much time to watch as I'd like, but I'm gonna keep doing it.
You have the month.
Yep.
It's a good fucking show.
How many seasons is it?
6, I think.
It's really 7. It's 7.
Okay.
It did one of those weird things where they did like season 6 in 2 parts, but they're each like 8 episodes or something. So it's basically 7 episodes. I can't even like I would say the show really starts to hit its stride in season 2. Like halfway through, it starts to become like what it's gonna be in terms of like the tone.
Well, I'm loving it already. Does it decline in quality as it goes?
It doesn't
like,
decline
towards
in
the end?
quality at all.
Okay, good.
It only like I'm telling you, it hasn't even hit the stride yet.
Okay.
Like next season, David Proval shows up as Richie Aprile, and like what builds from there just keeps snowballing, and yeah, it's so good.
Cool. I'm excited.
We gotta talk. Like, you gotta tell me what episodes you're watching because like
Oh,
I have
I will.
opinions on all of them. And
I
I
know.
have some of my favorite. My favorite episode is in season 6.
I literally just finished 3. I'm gonna watch at least 1 or 2 more tonight, and then I'll watch some more tomorrow and just keep going.
Yeah. Everett, have you watched anything?
No, not this week.
All right, so we got a lot of stuff for gaming because I don't know, something happened.
Yeah. Like the
Oh,
Sony
we gotta
press leaks or
talk about
something.
What If.
Oh yeah, what
Okay.
if?
The zombie episode.
So
Yeah.
zombie episode. Did you see it, Emerson?
Yeah, I watched this one.
I personally like. First of all, I think it's so funny because they posted that action figure of the Spider-Man vampire hunter, and everybody got super excited, and even the creator was like, everyone's thinking it's going to be something that it's not, and it's like, not only does he not really do anything, he doesn't hunt or zombie hunter. Is it vampire hunter or zombie?
The zombie hunter.
Yeah, and like he doesn't. You can see like he doesn't even wear the mask, so that figure is not even super accurate when he's wearing the cape. It's a bizarre toy, to be honest with you.
I'm still buying it. I think it looks great.
I noticed that everybody has like a slightly tweaked variation of costume. If you pay close attention, it's not quite the MCU version. Like this Captain America thing, that was really, that was a big part of the marketing of it, and he was in it for like 2 seconds, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't think this episode was good. I didn't care at all.
It was
I didn't
it was interestingly violent in some ways because they're zombies. So you can kind of like chop their heads off and chop off their limbs and stuff, and still have it be safer for younger audiences.
Yeah, I think that these episodes move too fast.
Yeah, well, you're trying to cram like a somewhat large story into like 30 minutes.
Like this
not
would
gonna
have to
happen.
be a movie. This idea here specifically, like this needs to be a full movie. Get some real character moments. Like by the time that what's her name is dying, it's like I don't know. You're like 20 minutes in, and she's already like they're like almost at the end of their journey. And I couldn't even really tell you what happened other than like a few of the plot points. It just
So far, for the most part, like even the like best parts, I still haven't watched the Guardians and one, but even the best parts of this are just like kind of like okay.
I think Doctor Strange is maybe the best one of them. Like what was up here? Vision is like trapping people and feeding them,
And feeding
then
them to Scarlet Witch.
as soon as the Avengers show up, he has a change of heart.
I guess.
And then he sacrifices himself, doesn't he?
Yeah, he rips the Mind Stone out of his head.
I'm like, yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, because they just need him to do things.
Yeah.
And if it took him time to have a change of heart talking to them, it would take up too much of the runtime.
So looking at some gaming stuff, Fortnite Chapter 2. Do you guys care about this?
No.
Yeah, I saw the event today.
What?
I mean, they crashed the alien spaceship. That's pretty much the only thing that happened.
I mean, I
don't
like
care
what they're
about the
doing.
story.
I like that they have these things going on. That kind of freshen things up. But
Well, the thing is that I don't play the like normal mode. We just play like the custom modes, which is just people created. So there's no
Yeah,
anything.
it's like
Alan
mini
Wake
game modes.
remastered. Did you guys ever
I've
play
a
this?
lot of people like Alan Wake, but I've never played it. Don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I have no idea what Alan Wake even is.
I might give it a shot. It was like a really like it had a lot of hype when it came out, and Xbox 360, and I just never played it, and then it just went away, you know. So it's coming back, and yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
I'll probably wait for it to be discounted. Aliens Fireteam Elite gets new weapons, and so we said that was a bad game, right?
Well, Everett heard it wasn't fantastic. I still haven't bothered trying to play it.
The gameplay and the reviews.
Oh, it's a
do not
free
do it
DLC?
justice.
That's nice.
So, GTA 5 and GTA Online coming to PlayStation 5. I mean, are they serious? Like,
Dude, they've made so much money. Why would they ever do anything different?
well, their
Yeah.
player base has to have fallen off. Like, who's still playing?
But the whales still spend money. There's still people who buy every single
Yeah.
fucking vehicle that comes out.
It's gotta be like 20 grand in real money to buy everything in that game at
But,
this
like,
point.
yeah. I mean, to me, like the engine is like outdated. I don't want to play it
The engine
anymore.
is outdated. And the only like, let me put it this way. If they had said, hey, every building now has an interior, you can go in every building, I would probably be interested enough to pick it up, right? Because that
Right.
could be like, oh, okay, but they're not going to do that. And its core gameplay loop is based around you have to have the biggest gun if you want to even enjoy it. So
Right.
It's the new Skyrim being just re-released constantly.
Deathloop story trailer. I didn't
haven't
actually
seen
watch
it.
this trailer.
yeah.
Deathloop. I feel like I saw the trailer for this.
Well, we talked about it, but
Yeah.
we didn't. I
Talked
didn't
about
look at the
it, so
trailer.
I'll probably check out. That game seems interesting to me.
Yeah, the concept sounded cool,
It's
and it's
only
by Arcane, and I like Arcane.
It's a PS5 game, right?
Yeah, it's at launch at least. I think it comes to PC too. If it has crossplay, I'll just get it on my computer.
Yeah, for the news we're probably about to get into, I should probably preface that I'm definitely going to buy a PS5 when they become available.
It will
There's
also
al-
be available on PC.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think there was some other. I gotta find it. There's a lot of like little news. There was more gameplay stuff. No. Oh, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic remake officially announced for PS5.
Yes.
I know Everett's
Oh,
been waiting for this since the dawn of time.
I am so fucking excited.
I'm glad it's a remake, not a remaster.
That is like music to my ears because you're right. Remake means an all new engine, all new gameplay, all new everything. They're gonna try to keep the story as close to the original as possible.
Who's
Like
Asper?
I don't know.
it's
Aspire?
yeah, Aspire. I think they worked with not EA, but they're closer to LucasArts.
Well, it says they did something with Republic Commando, which I enjoyed.
The only
But
thing
it's
is,
so
is if
old.
they're gonna EA it, then it might
Well,
be.
I don't know if they're gonna EA it, but the original one was a BioWare game, and they did an amazing job. It was like
BioWare is not what it used to be.
yeah, but it was after playing through Mass Effect, I realized like a lot of the actors and a lot of the gameplay of this game were the early makings of what Mass Effect was. Like,
Well, if it's a true remake, a lot of people will be fucking excited for that. It's just like what Key is saying is that
Microtransaction.
if it gets microtransaction-y or if they like rip some of the soul out to try to put something in, that would be annoying.
here's my hope. They keep the story because the story is amazing, but they give it more of like a Fallen Order type combat system. That's what I want. That would be perfect in my eyes.
Fallen Order was not great.
Yeah, it wasn't. The story was kind of mediocre.
No,
but
I
the
mean,
But I
gameplay was
didn't like the
perfect.
combat
The
system.
combat was pretty like dumb, very simple.
I mean, how else are you going to do it? You can't do
Wasn't
battle
it just like light strike, heavy strike?
Yeah, I mean,
dodge?
but there's no real way to do
that's Assassin's
lightsaber
Creed.
combat.
That's not true. There's plenty of games that have good like hand-to-hand swords and whatever.
Okay,
Like
I mean,
Assassin's Creed is bad. Ghost of Tsushima is good. Why can't you do that?
Okay, I've never played Ghost of Tsushima, so if they have good sword combat, then yeah, maybe they could do something like that.
Get yourself a PlayStation. Xbox is gone. Wolverine video game
I
officially
heard
in the
about
works.
this.
Just like another reason to get a PS5.
Yeah.
Wolverine. I mean, it's a very short trailer. You know, not much to sink your teeth into, but
And Insomniac's really hitting it out of the park with this.
I hope that it's. I hope that it's open world. My first thought was like it would be linear, not like Spider-Man. Part of me is like he's a drifter. What if they made like a GTA 5 style map? Where you were
I feel
riding
like a
around on
linear
motorcycle?
game with him would not be as fun, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but it would be more story driven, which might be what they're going
But
for.
you could do a story-driven open world.
So what do
You
you
just-
have? Like mini rural towns and him running around the forest or the X Mansion?
You could have a big city. You could have small towns. I mean, remember GTA 5 was a long time ago. You could do a lot more with it now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's gonna be exciting though.
Spider-Man 2 coming in 2023, which is a long way off still. I know
Yeah,
we're
but-
almost in 2022, but damn.
That's still a while, like a year and 3 months.
But
hey, I'm okay with quality if it takes.
damn if Venom does
Quality's better
fucking
than
awesome.
quantity. Well, because quantity is how we got COD.
So people are saying like, I've heard a lot of people saying, I hope they don't focus too much on Miles, and I'm like, how are they not going to focus on Miles if Peter?
Why don't people want him to focus on Miles?
Because they want him another Peter-centric story, like Miles has his own game, but
Do
that
you
logic
care?
doesn't track. I mean, I prefer Peter to Miles. I hope they don't like constantly force me to like pick one or the other. I do
Maybe it'll be
wanna
like
see-
Arkham Knight where you can switch like seamlessly.
Well, my thing is their twist on it is going to be okay. We've seen the Spider-Man versus Venom thing a couple times, whatever. My version of my expectation is that it's going to be Peter has the black suit and he fights Miles, who tries to like take it from him, like to save him. And then it might fall to Eddie Brock because last we heard it might be Harry Osborn that becomes Venom. So
Okay.
it jumps from him to Peter. And Miles is like, I got to save Peter because Peter's out of control. Eddie Brock gets it. Then they got to team up and fight him. There's also going to be Kraven the Hunter. Who knows?
Yeah, I
who
kind of
else.
wonder if they're gonna like split those in half. Like Peter deals with Venom and maybe Miles deals with Kraven. And
There's going to be a third enemy for sure. They did that in the first game. Remember, they made you think it was Negative Man. Was that his name?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so.
And then it was someone else. So,
What are they gonna have like Green Goblin or something?
I think it's going to be somebody else. Yeah, somebody else.
Yeah, we'll see.
So it could
Super
be a
excited for that
fun-
though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm buying a PS5 for this game, so I don't have to buy a PS5 until this game comes out.
Right.
But if Logan comes out first, I'll get it for that. And to be honest, like, you know, if that other game, the Star Wars game comes out and it's for PS5, and I know I'm getting a PS5, and like, I don't know, like, what is the point of an Xbox right now?
Well, it's your existing library mainly. But even me, like, you know that I've been on Xbox for a long time. But the thing is, for a long time, it was like my big thing was playing, here's God of War Ragnarok.
Another game.
My big thing with Xbox for so long had been like, I like competitive games, right? I played multiplayer, but I just can't do that anymore. Like, I'm just not good enough to like play and enjoy myself.
It's your age also.
Yeah, that's probably a lot
How
of
old
it
are
too.
you now?
24.
Okay, by the time I was 22, I could really just play Halo 4 a little bit. And beyond that, I was pretty much done with it.
Literally, the only game I still play on Xbox is I occasionally play For Honor, but that's because I like For Honor. Like,
Well, I would play Ghost Recon still, but we don't play.
Well, that's the thing. Aside from that, the only games, and I do want to talk about when we get the chance, Insurgency, because I'm really hyped on this. I think, but the thing with Insurgency is it's not exclusive. 2, it's multi-platform, which means we can play with you on the One X that you have.
Right. And that's
so like
that and Wildlands are all I need.
Yeah,
play
exactly.
Spider-Man almost every day.
Right. And see, that's the thing with me. It's like, and Everett can assure you this, I've just been moving more towards PC now because of the freedom of type of game I can get there.
But
I can find.
We've been playing a lot of Hoy lately.
Controls.
See, I understand not liking PC controls, but okay. So like for you, Kia, you said that like what was like the first game you really played?
On what?
What was it?
On what?
On anything. Like what was the first game you like really remember playing? Like,
I mean, that's Atari.
Okay, yeah, sorry, the generational difference hits, but like I would say you would say that like your favorite genre of game, right, would probably be like the single player open world like story. Like you like Spider-Man a lot, right?
Right
You
now, it
like
would be Batman and Spider-Man as my favorite games. With Mass Effect, I'm not a huge RPG guy, but Mass Effect is like a good
but like
RPG.
those three games, there's similarities between them. These are not multiplayer driven games. These are not like level
Yeah,
up.
but like I played the shit out of Halo.
That's true. That's true. And it's just it let you down by shooting you in the head 70 times. And then it was like, okay. Like
The first one was great, and after that, I could see the writing on the wall. Like it had lost its magic, but people were so obsessed with the game that they just like
well,
kept
we had
going.
fun
But
playing like Fireteam and playing through campaigns, but that was what it
yeah,
became. But like for
but even the
me,
campaigns weren't as good as the first one.
yeah, for me, like the games I've
Mm,
played first and like the genre that still gives me the most enjoyment are like strategy games. Like and that's the thing is like as I've gotten away from Xbox in the sense of like I don't enjoy it as much anymore. All the strategy games are on PC. So that's why I play on PC so much. And the controller is less of an issue there for me.
Yeah, I don't mind the controller thing, but like Insurgency on the PC, I don't know about that.
Well, I would probably just use because my controller has a wired hard port, so I can play games on PC with a controller. So,
Well, is it like made for that? Because
so I've
sometimes you
mapped it
gotta,
to games that are usually not, but I
yeah, you
would
gotta
try it.
map it, and it doesn't always go well.
That's true, but we'll see. I
Um,
mean, Insurgency, I'm going to play on Xbox simply because it's coming out there and it's something we all have.
Yeah, no, I'll play that, but like Hell Let Loose, I mean, unless it's like an amazing game. If you look on the Reddit, it's got all kinds of problems right now. So
On PC.
yeah, in the beta.
Yeah.
So no, not on PC, on the console
Oh,
beta.
that would make sense.
Um, so like I wouldn't buy one for that, and also I could still play it on PS5. So
Yeah.
um, so the only part of Xbox that keeps me on right now is the Splinter Cell games because they're backwards compatible.
Right.
And I don't believe that you can get those on PlayStation right now.
Not yet. Yeah,
So
Microsoft really needs to do something. Like, especially with Halo, like their flagship. You know what's funny, right? My Series X that I have, that I got like almost a year ago, is Halo themed, like the box art.
mm,
And it's like, bro, it's not even out yet. And I'm not even gonna buy it. And not at launch for sure, because no co-op campaign, no forge mode. That's all I ever liked from Halo.
Microsoft is in a massive nosedive right now, and
Well, actually,
the
their
minute
PC
Halo
division is
releases,
pretty good.
the minute Halo releases, it's going to be official that
I mean,
any
isn't
doubt.
it crazy though how they have the better system? They have a committed fan base, and like we are the ones that would buy the Xbox, and they're like, we have nothing for you.
And see, what I wonder is like, are they like, because like their PC divisions are doing great, like Age of Empires 4, like they have these products that are doing fantastic. I don't know what their game plan is with console, because like we were
They
talking
have
about
the
Game
better
Pass.
console, in my opinion.
And yeah, but it doesn't matter if the games aren't there.
Right. I know.
That's what you've been
I'm
saying.
saying. Like,
But
why
like
did they develop such a
they
good
even
console?
they even have Game Pass, which if there were tons of good games, Game Pass would be like, you would love Game Pass. Like if there was a version of Game Pass on PS4 or PS5 where you could pay like $1 a month and get to try out all these games to see if you like them.
I think
I
they
think
already
you would
have a
get
thing
that.
where they give you like a free or one or
Game
two free games
Pass
a month.
is
Yeah, but
like
that's what Xbox does too.
Game Pass is like the bargain
with games with
bin.
gold. What'd you say, Ikea?
Game Pass is like the bargain bin. I can think of 2 times where we were like, hey, let's try a game, and it was on Game Pass, and you guys are like, oh, I don't have to buy it. And I was like, okay, I mean, I guess I could pay $20.
Oh, I don't have Game Pass.
I know, but like
It's not
Everett
worth it
had a
for me.
game or something, and like he didn't have to buy it. But yeah, like I said, like it, I can't think maybe 2 instances in a couple years where it was like, let's play this obscure game just to try it, and it's like, oh, if you have Game Pass, you don't have to pay for it.
I
Did
have a
they-
PS4. Is it worth investing in some of the games they have? Like I already play Spider-Man and Miles Morales, but
Of course, they have
God
a
of
great
War.
library. Yeah, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, and the thing is, I don't even have the online. Ghost of Tsushima has like a multiplayer that we might love. If you can play together, I don't even know.
I'll give it a try.
I don't have the online, but they have like Horizon Zero Dawn, which I wasn't a huge fan of. Jade liked it.
And like even beyond that, the only thing for Game Pass that really is interesting to me is Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 2042 is supposed to come out on Game Pass day one. So I'll do that because then I don't have to buy it and I can enjoy it. So I'll buy Game Pass for a couple of months.
I mean,
But-
I think that the party system in Xbox is vastly superior.
Mhm. No, they have a better UI. You can see that it's like a PC's company's UI. Like they understand the mechanics of it and like the hardware and software, but they're missing the final element that is what pulls it all together, which is games.
Yeah. I wonder why so many game companies gravitate towards Sony.
Not really that many do, particularly. Like in terms of studios, Microsoft has enough. They're just not doing anything.
I'm not sure what it is that, like, it's not like you have to have God of War on your game, but why isn't there some type of equivalent?
Yeah.
Why are they not allowing?
And they have plenty of talented studios that they could either have, like that are owned by Microsoft that they could have do this, or they could just contract a studio.
Supposedly Bethesda's working on the next Elder Scrolls game when that eventually comes out.
Yeah, and Bethesda's
And
fine,
it's
but
going
I
to
don't
be
really like.
exclusive to Xbox.
They haven't said Xbox hasn't made a comment on. Here's the thing: right now they don't have exclusives, so they're playing the high horse, right? Where they're like, we believe everyone should get our game. We'll see what happens when the games actually roll out. But like the last exclusive that Bethesda did was Doom. Like really, like in terms of like high profile exclusives that Microsoft has, it's Doom.
Which I couldn't even play. Like that was nothing to me.
Yeah, you weren't a fan of it. I enjoyed it. The first one was better in hindsight, but I enjoyed it.
But I think as you get older, you will not be able to like get into those types of games. Like
yeah, I mean probably. But so there was Doom that I enjoyed. Then there was Minecraft. That's legit one of their big exclusives, which I enjoy. Like I like Minecraft.
But now everybody plays on PC anyway.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And like they have the other thing they have is they have some crossplay between PC and Xbox, which is nice for like Minecraft, for example. Like we can host a server on Xbox and anyone can play from PC or Xbox, which is PS4. Nice. Yeah, that's true. It's nice. But the thing is that no, PS4 can't connect to a server.
Yeah, I think it can.
I don't think so, Everett. Can you provide me with proof of that?
I've played with Ian and a couple of his friends that were playing on PS4. They have different names.
But were you playing on a Realms server or were you playing on someone's hosting it?
I think he was hosting it.
Yeah, then that's not the same. You can't set up an independent Realms server and join.
Oh, okay. That's my confusion then. But there are other games out there that you can do crossplay, like Fortnite. You can do it. Destiny, you can now do it.
I mean,
Call of Duty, you can do it.
I'm never gonna play Destiny or like Fortnite Battle Royale. It's just not gonna happen. I love Fortnite's co-op mode, like free play thing. That's fun.
And the death runs and stuff.
Yeah, I love playing the death runs. You were right. The death runs, the Among Us, the Friday the 13th. That's a better game than Friday the 13th, the game that came out, which is hilarious. Like those are fun. I enjoy that. But I don't know. I mean, it's like with Ragnarok, like God of War has been insanely big since 2. That's when it took off.
They've all been good. I played them.
No, I know they've all been good, but I feel like 2 is where it like entered the consciousness really. Like 1 was just like, oh, it's a good game, and then 2 was like, holy shit.
Well, 3 was insane, and then 4 was like a different thing. They actually said that this is the last of the Norse saga.
Where are they going to move to next? Egypt?
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But like Ragnarok, they're saying that it's all coming down on this one. Let's see if they do it. You know what Marvel promised.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, this is just a nice segue. There was a thread on the Marvel Studios subreddit, which was, "What is your unpopular opinion?"
I left that, by the way. I can't do it anymore.
Oh, I still occasionally go there. The unpopular opinion, by the way, the person who posted it, they posted their unpopular opinions. One of them was there are no bad MCU movies. That was their unpopular. I was like, wow, real risky here, aren't we? But one of the unpopular opinions that got downvoted to shit was someone being like, Ragnarok was the worst Marvel movie. And it's getting just destroyed.
I saw that. I think that was when I left. I saw that and I was like, these are not my people. Like, they just want to be like, it was funny.
It's a drop of water in the ocean. You're not going to get past the Marvel shows.
No, but they've become fans of a brand, and the brand can do no wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, like, and everyone's like, oh, they made Thor fat. It's like, it's not Chris Hemsworth. Like, let them make their own
It's
thing.
Norse mythology. Who the fuck
I
cares?
don't even care that he's fat. I don't care what he looks like. Like, as long as it's
He looks
whatever their
kick ass
vision
in that picture right there.
Sure. Yeah, whatever.
The interesting thing about the make Thor fat thing that I was looking at is someone was like, how is he supposed to be threatening? But that image there, at least, looks more threatening than like a cartoonishly buff. Like, that character looks
Yeah.
interesting to me.
Yeah. As far as trailers, anything new? I know we saw a bunch of game trailers.
I think there was a movie trailer for something. I just didn't watch it. I don't remember what it was.
Did you guys see the pitch?
Oh,
meeting for
Matrix.
Shang-Chi?
Matrix
Oh, the
4.
Oh
Matrix.
yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. Did you guys see the pitch meeting for Shang-Chi?
No.
I saw
suggest
it, but I didn't click
Check
on it.
that guy out because he says what we say. He does it like a
I
skit,
love him.
so he goes like faster, but we're pretty much all on the same page with him every time. In fact, I thought he was maybe even a little nice, but he did go for it. Like, he's definitely criticizing Marvel, and I'm surprised it's as popular as it is. Maybe people think that he's just trying to be funny, but like, he's hitting real points, good arguments. I like him.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna. There's a bunch of little news, so we'll just get to the trailer. We'll just go through these. Indiana Jones 5 rumored to be setting the stage.
Oh no.
franchise's new lead.
Who the fuck reads this and is like, sick, they're gonna get the new lead for the next 6 movies?
James
Who's
Mangold, who directed Logan, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So who's going to be the replacement?
According to the site, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is being eyed to take over from Ford. She plays Indy's assistant.
Okay.
Uh,
I've never been a
Kathleen
big fan of
Kennedy,
the Indiana Jones
the
movies.
Hollywood producer, isn't she also behind Star Wars? The Hollywood producer behind the franchise is keen to make big, bold changes with few bigger than switching the lead characters to a woman.
Oh yeah, Kathleen Kennedy. She's the one that said Star Wars doesn't have any like comics or extended lore to pull from, and it made everybody mad.
I just
Phoebe
want to point out that
Waller-Bridge.
I'm fine with like, oh, female Indiana Jones, but if your whole reasoning for it is it'll be a bold move and now she's a woman, I'm not gonna assume you're gonna flesh out the story.
Where do
or
we know
like,
her from?
I have no idea.
She's in Fleabag.
Yeah, but besides
that?
that, she's something else that I've seen. Something popular, no?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I don't know. Let's find out.
Most popular stuff.
Fleabag.
Solo.
Who was she in Solo?
L337. I guess.
Oh, the droid. Oh.
Yeah, I've never heard of any
You've
of
seen
this stuff.
Killing Eve, haven't you, Everett?
Yeah.
Oh, you told us that one was great.
Yeah, Killing Eve is good. I don't remember her in it though. Fleabag is good too, but it's you guys probably wouldn't like it.
The Iron Lady.
Maybe I've seen her there. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, I told you guys I ditched Peaky Blinders. Did I say that last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said they had
so-
like a bunch of like walking sequences with like modern pop music that you just couldn't take.
Yeah. I predict that this movie, if they actually make one of her,
Will not be great.
and it'll be one and done.
I don't really care enough about Indiana Jones to really form an
Why
opinion.
does
But
Indiana Jones even have to continue?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is what's annoying about that quote we just read, where it's like, it's going to be a bold move. Now, Indiana Jones is going to be a woman. It's like, first of all, you're not being empowering by taking an existing franchise and like being like, now we're going to continue it as a woman. Just make a new movie with a female
Yeah.
lead that's like an adventure movie. And it'll
Yeah.
probably be better because it's not a half-baked idea based around one concept.
Go back to Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider had potential. That's
It has
basically
potential.
female Indiana Jones.
Jamie Foxx has an interesting response to being asked about
Oh,
Electro
God.
return. Those motherfuckers are good, is all he would say. Proof perhaps that he's learned from his early faux pas.
Great. Non-news.
There are rumblings that the plan is to include the rest of the interdimensional Sinister Six and those Spider-Man in the eventual second trailer for the movie.
Yeah, well, I hope they don't give away too much. I'd like to be somewhat surprised when I enter the
I
theater.
mean, we've seen everything now, haven't
If
we,
you,
though?
if
Like,
you see the trailer, like by the third trailer, they'll definitely reveal it because they're trying to get people.
Yeah,
So
I basically know they're
Shang-Chi-
there.
I've heard it's been killing.
I don't know what killing means though. Are they saying like, oh, it
I
didn't
think
flop, so we're happy?
pandemic killing is what
Yeah.
they meant.
Another strong weekend, grossing 9.7 million on its second Friday.
Hmm.
32 million overall. That's higher than the 25 million. Okay, but Black Widow bombed, right?
Yeah.
Not bombed, but it was like not $1 billion.
Dude, it's the pandemic. No movie is gonna succeed like crazy right now. It's just not gonna happen.
Shang-Chi's made $145 million domestic because I'm looking at it on my box office thing that I used to do.
Yeah, it says it right here.
For the pandemic, that's fucking nuts.
That's not. I mean, for the
Mm.
pandemic, it makes sense.
People are going out now.
Uh,
And look at what else you have to see.
Malignant and Free Guy.
Yeah.
Free Guy I heard was pretty good actually.
Yeah, but it's not like if people are
Malignant's a
like,
horror
let's-
movie too, and those never perform well. Like,
Well, I mean, yeah, unless it's sometimes. But
well,
like,
what I mean
opening
with
weekend-
Malignant is it's like a type of person goes to see a horror movie versus like, I don't think Malignant is sucking away viewers from Shang-Chi is what I'm saying. Like,
So what did Black Widow do overall? 125 on Disney Plus alone.
Oh my
combined
god, there's
worldwide nearing 500 million.
Paw Patrol the movie,
Yeah, I heard about that.
34
actually.
million domestic.
Oh shit! Paw
You
Patrol
looked at
2.
Box Office Mojo, Everett?
That's where I got all my listings.
So worldwide, this is it, what they made?
Yeah.
And the theatrical run was 65 days, 9 weeks.
Mhm.
It's a little disturbing to me, like monetary wise, that now a film's value is linked to its gross. I understand why, but like the fact that like they're aiming for if it's sub $1 billion, it hasn't succeeded. That's like not a good mindset.
So what has it been like 2 weeks and it's 257?
Because what? Yeah, it says worldwide right there. 257 million.
How long was this? It doesn't say how long it was.
God, I can't even believe that this one made $1 billion, over $1 billion.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is this?
Hey, there's the
marketing?
rollout with the there's the rollout with the dates. Original release March 6th to 15th, 2019. It
March
made
6th to 15th.
yeah.
You're saying it was out for a week?
No, but that's like the initial, like, I think that's the opening week
Right.
that they're
but how many
looking at.
weeks did it go?
I don't know, but in that week, look at the gross that they're claiming.
That first. Is this,
Oh no, those are release days. Yeah, okay, never
Yeah.
mind.
So I don't know. Like I don't understand how to read this stuff, but is this propaganda? Are they all being like, see, Shang-Chi didn't fail. It was amazing.
I think it was. I see it all over the Marvel Studios subreddit. People trying to claim it fail, and then they post the box office numbers, and I'm like, guys, me saying a movie's bad and you responding with, but it made a lot of money is not an argument.
But also, like, is it a lot of money or is it a lot of money for right now?
I
That
think it's a
part I
lot of
don't
money
get.
for right now. If this was a normal year, if pandemic hadn't happened, all this stuff hadn't happened, I think that they would have been aiming for $1 billion.
How much did Shang-Chi cost to make?
I don't know. Does it tell you?
Did it break even? It must have broke even.
Does it tell you?
I'm about to find out.
I mean, I'm
On
looking
its
at the
Wikipedia
website.
page.
Does it? Oh, okay.
Budget 150 to 200 million.
Okay.
So it barely broke even.
So far.
Yeah,
So
so far.
what I'm thinking is like, if this doesn't hit $1 billion, but Captain Marvel does, then and after they've had like $1 billion movie after $1 billion movie, then it's not a success.
No.
People
And
are
I'm
gonna
going to be
start
real.
to
I don't
just-
see this hitting $1 billion.
But like to me, the jury is still out, isn't it? But see,
Well-
then Sony sees that and goes, "Let's move up Venom because it's safe to release. We're going to make our money."
But how much money did the first Venom make?
I don't know.
Because they might just be like, there's nothing else here, just do it. And if it's 90 minutes, like has been reported, PG-13, it probably didn't cost a ton to make.
So Marvel added 4 more
Venom made 856
release
million.
dates. And the rumor is they think it's going to be the sequel to this third Spider-Man movie, which is, I believe he's at the end of the contract now, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. And he has,
So-
I think, like 2 cameos left, right?
We'll see.
They mentioned 4 other films there in the list.
Fantastic Four, Blade, Deadpool 3, Captain America 4, and X-Men could be any of those.
Oh, God, Captain America 4. Don't ruin the legacy of Civil War.
Benedict Cumberbatch calls the Spider-Man director a genius. I mean, I give it to him based on like how quickly he made that Far From Home with Mysterio and all that stuff. To pull that together that quickly, that, he has to know what he's doing. Think about all the stuff that was in that movie that he did, and it was well done too. That's not easy to do. There will be a lot of debate about it, I'm sure, but it's a darling, brilliant concept.
Working on the movie is a lot of fun.
I think John Watts is a genius. All the team was on those 3 films are vastly brilliant. He's got a light touch, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's just talking about how much fun he had on the set. New Hawkeye stills. Yeah, we don't know if this is her costume. She's basically wearing like sweats and like a jacket. So the dog is in it. The dog from the comics.
Is he
Mad
going
Max
deaf
spin-off.
like the comics?
I don't know. Mad Max spin-off Furiosa pushed to summer 2024. Going to begin filming. Is it with
I think it is.
Taylor-Joy? Is she playing
Yeah.
Furiosa?
I think she is. Yeah, in the title role.
She doesn't look like Charlize Theron.
Maybe they'll shave her head, or maybe this is pre her time with what's his name.
Why is Chris Hemsworth? Is he also in it? I think he is.
No, in other news, while Furiosa was still filming in Australia, the Netflix decided to move their Untitled Extraction sequel.
They're making a sequel?
Hemsworth will jump into filming the Sam Hargrave-directed actioner before reporting back to his home country of Australia in November or December for Furiosa.
It's interesting. They moved
He is in
it
it.
out of Australia due to potential for shutdown.
Jesse
When are we getting
Eisenberg
that,
on returning as Lex Luthor. Whatever.
No, I was going to make a stupid joke. Go on.
Nothing has moved forward because in that Snyder cut, it felt like it was teasing Lex for the Batman, a movie that isn't happening with Ben Affleck. Yeah, so he doesn't know. Venom Let There Be Carnage's runtime has been revealed. It is
90 minutes,
90
isn't it?
minutes, which to me is either great
Or
because they're
horrible.
like, we don't have a concept here. It's basically Carnage going crazy and Venom has to fight him. We don't have a concept, so let's not drag this out with like bullshit. To me, that's a smart choice. On the other
On
hand,
the flip side, yeah.
Are the characters going to be just paper thin then? Because like Cletus Cassidy, the idea that he's just like a crazy guy.
Well,
And so
one thing I said to Everett is I was like, you really don't have much to introduce. Like, we know Venom, we know Eddie Brock, we know his girlfriend. I don't need to see more from them, really.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's also the thing of like, how does Eddie Brock being a reporter really fit in with him being Venom? So there's really nothing to Eddie Brock either once Venom's around.
yeah.
Last time he was trying to stop the bad guy, and yeah, he was previously reporting on him. So now, like, are you going to do that again where he's like, oh, I'm reporting on some bad people, and then turns out Carnage is on the loose, and it's just like, okay, Venom versus Carnage.
Yeah, for some reason, Cletus Cassidy really wants Eddie Brock to be the guy who reports on his story for some reason.
Yeah.
He knows he's Venom because they basically tease that in the trailer.
I heard about this.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan's next project will be a World War II set drama about J. Robert Oppenheimer.
That's the guy who developed the atomic bomb.
Yeah. So
I wonder if the movie will be an atomic bomb.
I just hope he's not up his own ass for this one.
I mean, I like the idea of a period drama. Like,
Eternals is getting an exclusive theatrical
I heard
release,
this.
skipping Disney Plus.
that makes me sad.
Yeah, this is one of those movies I would have liked to watch at home.
Yeah, I could have watched this one at home. I think they know that.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it.
And they're thinking probably because Shang-Chi, they're like, people showed up.
Yeah, damn.
We'll leave that for later. Spider-Man No Way Home leaked video claims to show more of Blank's return. I don't know what that is, but
Oh, wow. I wonder who it
Tobey
is based on
Maguire.
that picture.
yeah, we're reading the story here. A photo of Garfield suited up as his version of Spider-Man recently started to do the rounds until Sony Pictures began to hit Twitter accounts with copyright notices. So it might be real. Video allegedly shows Garfield alongside Maguire's Spidey. Let's see. You can
It'll
view
be
the
nice.
video and decide how authentic it looks.
No,
Well,
that's not the link. It's
let's
the
not get
tweet.
hit with a copyright strike.
It's this one.
I think that's the picture.
I want to see the picture.
Oh,
I mean, I won't turn on the video. No, I don't know about that. Does that look real?
I don't know.
It's hard to
the
say.
cuts make it difficult.
And you have to assume that they're going to be wearing different costumes.
I think it's the same one.
I don't see, yeah. Because like, remember we saw that concept art? Did you guys see that? I thought that their new costumes look kind of cool, but
Guess we'll see.
yeah. Doctor Strange reshoots have wrapped. Elizabeth Olsen behind the scenes. Oh, I thought we were gonna get like a costume look.
Oh yeah, did you hear there's like a thing with the whole the theory of the alternate Doctor Strange kind of almost got confirmed because he like had something on his face during an interview that he couldn't show because of the embargo. Did you guys hear about that?
No.
There was a thing, so people have been speculating that the alternate Doctor Strange from What If's going to show up in the movie, and people think that's true now because Doctor Strange did a Zoom interview with someone, but his camera was pointed at the ceiling the whole time because he said, "I can't show you my face because the embargo's not up." So people are speculating like the makeup he has on could probably be something along those lines.
Why can't he just turn off his video?
Yeah, that's stupid. This sounds like the type of thing meant to drum up hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Garfield working with Sony. It was only beautiful. I got to meet Emma Stone and Sally Field. I had karma with Amy Pascal, but ultimately we loved each other. Blah blah blah. Let's see. I had worked with him. I thought he said the title says clashing with Amy Pascal. We tried to meet.
There's the whole clash.
Middle.
Who was a mother figure and we would fight, but ultimately we loved each other on a deep
fuck
level.
This shit. Whatever. Pokemon live action movie rumored to be in the works at Netflix alongside
Oh,
the planned
no.
TV series.
That Psyduck face.
I don't need a sequel to that movie though.
Well, Netflix with budget and story and just how they go, I would not be.
Did you guys see
shocked.
Michael K. Williams died?
Yeah,
Yes.
that sucks.
He shows up in The Sopranos.
Okay.
He's also Loudmouth. Remember when we watched Incredible Hulk and I read the script and there was like a character named Loudmouth who was like talking shit to like Abomination or something? That was him.
Oh.
But he's known as Omar in The Wire. Have you guys seen The Wire?
I've seen parts of it.
It's really good. Yeah.
He has some video game credits that I like. I forget though.
He was in like one of the Battlefields, I think, right?
Something like that. Wait, scroll back up. I want to see the headline on that one more time.
Zachary Levi or Levy recalls disappointment with the Thor role and the promise Marvel Studios failed to keep. He said they were going to give him much meatier roles. To be honest, I had seen the first one. I didn't really feel like the Warriors 3 were used all that well. So I was like, hey, are you going to actually use these folks? And they said, oh no, we're going to use the Warriors 3 a lot in Thor: The Dark World, a lot. Yeah, you're going to be busy. And I was like, okay, so I signed up. I didn't have that much to do, and really nothing to do in the third one. I knew I was going to die in the third one. I didn't know I was going to die having said nothing. Even the few words they gave me were going to be taken away. And even if I didn't die, they were probably going to snap me out of existence anyway. Who am I kidding? I died in the Marvel universe and then I got reborn in the DC universe. So
Poor guy.
He's right. They did nothing.
Yep. See, let's see. Do the comments even mention this? Like, how about the fact that they just threw away all those characters? Can we talk about that?
It's just a bunch of nerds, dude.
Warner Brothers wishes the Suicide Squad star Idris Elba a happy birthday while referring to his character as Deadshot. Some may know him as Stringer Bell. That's from The Wire. Others as Deadshot. Oh my God.
Wow.
Did they take this down?
Well, it doesn't matter. There's the picture right there.
Oh my
Woodland.
God. That is
Good,
bad.
Yeah.
good luck living that one down.
Whew. All right, The Matrix Resurrections. Check out these intriguing synopsis. Check out an intriguing synopsis and 2 new stills. The Matrix Resurrections is a continuation of the story established in the first Matrix film. 20 years after the first film, the franchise that helped define pop culture at the turn of the century is back for a continuation and extension of the original movie. A mind-bending new adventure with action and epic scale, set in a familiar yet even more provocative world where reality is more subjective than ever, and it's all required to see the truth to free your mind. Jada Pinkett Smith is in it again. Lambert Wilson as the Mirror.
Yeah. So what did you guys
The
think of this
Merovingian.
trailer?
I thought it was really stupid, and I can't say I'm excited for it at all.
So I'm gonna be honest. For me, at first, it was like it's a mix because, like, I'm like, okay, there's some nostalgia seeing them again, but then it's like, okay, it almost looks more like a reboot than a sequel, and then it becomes super generic. And then when Morpheus, but not Morpheus, appears, I was like, it's stupid.
Morpheus
saw this,
makes it look like a porn version.
I saw this really funny YouTube comment under the trailer that said, "I'm really glad they got Morpheus's brother to do this, Dorpheus."
I saw that. Yeah. But where have we seen this guy, Yahya Abdul Mateen? I feel like we've seen him.
He's Black Manta and Aquaman.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Was he in that one movie about the Chicago whatever 20 or whatever, Chicago 9? The Trial of the Chicago 7. Yeah, I remember him from that. I guess he was in Watchmen also. And I guess he was in Mad Max something. The
This is
Wasteland.
Baywatch.
I don't like him in this. I don't even think it's his fault. I think it's just weird that he's like Morpheus but not Morpheus.
Why didn't they just ask Lawrence Fishburne to come back?
Well, I think this is supposed to be like a different reality.
Okay.
The Man of Steel actor. Oh, that's Lawrence Fishburne. Okay. So yeah, I just feel like this could be good, but it seems like they're stretching really, really hard to make it seem like there's a story worth telling. And then you see kind of what they've got, which is this guy, and it's like, I don't know.
I'm not that excited.
Also, the second and third one are not that good.
Not that good. You said they were horrible last time we talked to
I mean, we have to rewatch them. I haven't seen them in a while, but I really feel like they were not that good.
Everett, roll out your defense.
Yeah, no, we're not.
No,
getting into
we'll
that.
talk about it. We'll get into it.
Well, yeah, we'll have a whole episode dedicated to that. Meaning reamed out about how I liked the second one.
So 10 DC Multiverse Stories. I just pulled this up because I thought we might be short on time. I don't know. Do you guys care about this?
No.
Age of
Gotham by
Wonder.
Gaslight's not bad.
Yeah, that could be interesting. That's the one where it's like old fashioned, right? Like Jack the Ripper and shit.
Yeah. Kingdom Come is okay. I don't know if it would work as a movie. Multiple Flashes, we've seen that. Doomsday Clock. Superman Red Sun, him as a Russian. Joker 2. Don't want that. Even Crisis on Infinite Earths, it's like pure spectacle. Justice League of America, The Nail. The only one I like is Tower of Babel, where somebody's using Batman's contingency plans to kill the Justice League. They'll never do that.
They're making an Injustice animated movie that looks interesting, at least.
So let's do Everett's Game of Smartass.
All right. I believe I forgot who started last week. So I'm just gonna say, Emerson, you start. Sorry.
Please. What's making me laugh so hard is Kia's reaction.
Sorry. Okay.
Place.
All right. You guys ready? Here we go. This location is 1.5 times larger than Earth. It possesses various terrains such as plains, canyons, forests, and oceans. What is so funny?
Every time you say clues, I remember that period of time where every clue you gave Kia was like your mom. Every single one. And then you go, this is 1.5 times larger than Earth.
Okay. Okay. Moving on. This place has been featured in comics, film, and television. It appears in nearly every version of the universe of characters it exists in. It has a multitude of species, but apparently there are no forms of bird living on its surface. It has 3 moons. The citizens here adhere to a class system and are born for specific roles in society. It orbits a red star. Its atmosphere is not suitable for human life as its
Krypton?
gravity is far stronger. Correct. Nice job.
Yeah, I was gonna say that eventually.
There are no
but-
birds?
Nope. No birds.
What was that thing Jarrell was flying on?
It's not a bird.
All right. I mean, it had wings. I don't know.
Is a dragon a bird?
I don't know.
That's
it a
exactly what
dragon?
would be said if someone would like the person who wrote "There's no birds" in like the lore. Someone's like, "What about that thing?" He's like, "He's not."
I
a
think they
bird."
mean like avian creatures, like feathers and shit. I don't know. Anyway, so that was place. We got thing and person next.
Person.
Person. All right, here we go. My first appearance was in the year 1979. I was arrested at least once. I'm about 5'10" with black hair. I have appeared on screen 5 times so far. I rely on advanced technology in combat. I have an established family, more specifically a daughter. I have traveled through time. I took over the mantle of an already existing hero.
Hawkeye.
No. Kia?
1979. Jason Todd.
No.
Ant-Man.
Correct.
Oh,
Nice.
I was like, it's one of the Avengers with a family. They weren't in the first one.
Yeah, the next clue was I can communicate with insects, so that would have probably given it to you.
no. I wasn't thinking about Marvel.
All right. Last thing is thing. Here we go. This item first appeared in May of 1984. It is a very powerful mystical artifact. It is about the size of a microwave. It requires 2 hands to use and lift. It was used in a great battle in 965 AD. Its most recent appearance was in a series from this year.
Casket of Ancient Winters.
Correct. Nice job. Do you want the extra question for double or nothing?
Yes.
I don't even know what that is, by the way.
The Casket of Ancient Winters is that blue box that they use in Thor that freezes everything.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah,
it was
I
in
know
What
that
If.
for some reason. I knew it was that from early on. I was just like waiting for more clues.
So, okay, your extra question for double of nothing is how many people are seen using the casket on screen throughout all the MCU movies?
I want to say 3.
Nope, it's 2. Only Laufey and Loki use it.
Odin's father never used it.
Odin's father never used it. Odin never used it. He only took it. Loki uses it on the Frost Giants and on Heimdall, and then Laufey uses it in the war.
Could have had 4 points today. No, I lost the Ant-Man one. So I
You
only
got 1 point. So Emerson 44, Kia 38.
Closing that lead. All right.
Okay.
Let's sort of plan out our next episodes because Matrix, we want to do the Matrix movies. That's 3 weeks.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that comes out like Christmas. So can you guys look up the Tom Hanks stuff?
Yeah, I'll get it up.
His next few roles.
So
So the next thing with Tom Hanks, I'm pretty sure, is Bridge of Spies.
okay. So like let's just say we do Bridge of Spies next week. And then we do what after that?
Let's see.
Just waiting on Sully. It's the one I want.
I mean, there's a hologram for the king. Sully is the next big one that I
Okay,
recognize.
so Sully. So Bridge of Spies next week, then Sully. And then there's the Many Saints of, I guess it's Venom. We'll do Venom first, I guess. Then the Many Saints of Newark. Give me a chance to watch it twice. Oh no, but that doesn't work. We're gonna have to fit an episode in there because the week after that is. You know what? We'll do Venom. We'll do Many Saints of Newark, and then we'll do. Oh, fuck, we're packed. We're packed.
It's pretty
We got
crazy.
Many Saints, October 1st. We have Venom, October 1st. The following weekend we have James Bond.
No.
The following weekend we have The Last Duel. The following weekend we have Dune. The following weekend, no, there's 1 week in there. So, and that brings us to November. Okay. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do Many Saints or Venom first? I feel like Venom.
Can we do Venom first so at least we all have time to watch a little bit more Sopranos?
So then we'll do Many Saints on the 10th, the second week of October. But then when do we do James Bond? Because I think I'd rather do The Last Duel than James
Yeah,
Bond.
do we even have?
I
don't-
agree.
I don't
Yeah,
really
could we
care about
wait for James Bond?
So we'll do The Last Duel, and then we have to do Dune, and then James Bond on the 31st, and then Eternals. And then we have,
The Matrix movies before Matrix, right?
well, so then we have Eternals. So then we have, do you guys care about doing Ghostbusters?
No.
I'll watch it. I'm not gonna probably review it.
Okay, so then we have 3 Matrix movies, and that brings us to December 5th, where we have 1 movie. Is there any more on Tom Hanks after Sully? There's got to be,
After Sully?
yeah.
Not really. After Sully, we get California Typewriter and Inferno, The Circle, Mark
Oh,
Felt, the man who brought down the White House, The Post,
The
Mamma
Post.
Mia, Here We Go Again,
We have to
Toy
do The
Story
Post.
4, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
I'd
The
watch
Post
The
and
Circle.
yeah.
It's that AI movie, right, with Emma Watson.
I think it was like a stupid movie.
Never mind them.
So we'll do The Post. All right. So then we have like 1 week, and then there's Spider-Man in there, and then there's Matrix in there after. Okay. So back to this month. What are we doing? Where are we right now? We are on the 12th.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna watch Bridge of Spies next week. I
next
think.
week's Bridge of Spies, then Sully. Okay, so that's the next 2 weeks. Then Venom. All right. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I will see you guys next week.
All right. See you next week.
Yeah.